Abu Moses. Here I'll explain the project source code. From line 1, we have the comment line. Here we are using the comment line to explain the title of the project. The title of the project is Restaurant Billing and Invoice Management System. On line 4 and 5 we have the header files. On line 4 we have hash include stdio.h, and line 5 we have hash include string.h. stdio.h stands for standard input output header. It is a header file, also known as a library, that contains the declaration and definition of predefined functions, that is already written functions such as printf and scanf function. On line 5 we have hash include string.h. String.h is also a header file that contains the declaration and definition of string functions. Once you want to make use of those string functions in your program, you must mention the header file string.h. The reason why we are mentioning this header file here is that there are some functions that are declared inside this header file that we want to make use of them. For us to be able to access them effectively, we must mention where we are getting them from. Hence, we are specifying this header file. On line 7, we have a structure called item. Sir, what is a structure? A structure is nothing but user-defined data type. Here, the structure item consists of item, price, and quantity. On line 13, again, we have a structure called orders. This structure consists of 4 members. We have customer, date, number of item, and a structure inside a structure, which is actually an array of structure. This array of structure called item will hold the number of items in this program. Now, in the concept of structures, they say a structure must always end with a semicolon. Hence, we are specifying the semicolon here at the end of this structure. Moving further, on line 20, we have the function prototypes. Sir, what is a function prototype? A function prototype, also known as function declaration, is the process of defining a function by specifying the name of the function, the number and type of arguments received by the function, and the type of value returned by the function. Here in our own case here, we have 3 function prototypes here in this program. All the functions are returning no value. Hence, we are specifying the keyword void here. Whenever you see the keyword void followed by the name of a function, it means the function is not returning any value. We have the generate bill header function. Generate bill header function is accepting 2 arguments of character array type. Here, in the concept of function declaration, also known as function prototype, the rule here says that whenever you are mentioning the argument of a function, no need of specifying the variable name. Only the data types are required. That is why here we are mentioning only the data types here. The variable name is not required during function declaration. On line 21, we have another function here called generate bill body. Generate bill body is accepting 3 arguments. The first argument is a character array. The second argument is an integer type. The third argument is a floating type. On line 23, we have a function called generate bill footer. Generate bill footer function is accepting a single argument, which is a floating type. On line 26, we have the main function. The main function is the function which is known as the entry point of every program in this language. In a situation where you have only one function in a program, then that function must be the main function. That is to say, program execution always starts from the main function. When the compiler starts executing this program, program execution will start from the main function here. Then again, inside the main function, we have some local variables that are declared here. These local variables are local to this main function. Now, in the concept of local variable, the rule there says that all the local variables of a block must be placed at the beginning of a block. This is a block. This block belongs to this main function. So all the local variables of this block must be placed at the beginning of this block, which is what we are doing here. These local variables here are local to this main function. This block here belongs to this main function. Now on line 36, we have the do while loop. Here we are using the do while loop to display a menu on the screen to the user. Here we are providing the user with 4 options. Option 1 for generate invoice, option 2 for show all invoice, option 3 for search invoice, option 0 for exits. Then on line 44, we have a printf statement. Here we are asking the user, enter your choice. Assuming the user enter any of these options, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. Assuming the user enter any of these options, then we want to collect this option and store inside the ch variable using the scanf function. The scanf function is the function that is used to read information that the user entered on the screen. It's used to read information on the console inside a variable. So we want to read the information that the user will enter on the console inside this ch variable using the scanf function. The scanf function here accepts 2 arguments. The first argument, you must specify the format specifier of the variable, which in our own case is %d, indicating that we are reading an integer from the user, indicating that we are reading an integer on the console. An integer is nothing but a number without decimal points. Then the second argument, we are specifying the address of the variable, the address of this variable. This variable here is declared here. This is the variable declaration. It's actually an integer type of variable. Here now we are referencing the address of this variable by providing the address of operator. That is at this memory address, at the memory address of ch variable, we want to store the inputs that the user entered. We want to save the input that the user entered on the console, assuming the user entered 1 or 2 or 3 or even 0. Then we want to collect that information and store inside the ch variable. After that, on line 47, we are using the switch case statement. The switch case control statement accepts a single argument. Here we are passing the ch as an argument, which is this ch that is here. So assuming the user enter 1, then the value of ch will be 1. If the value of ch is 1 inside the switch case statement, then case 1 will be executed. If the user enter 2, then the value of ch will be 2. If the value of ch is 2 inside the switch case statement, then case 2 will be executed. If the user enter 3, then the value of ch will be 3. If the value of ch is 3 inside the switch case statement, then case 3 will be executed, and so on. Here I will only explain the code in case 1. On line 49, we have the system clear function. Here the system clear function is used to clear the console. That is, if there is any information that is displayed on the screen, we want to clear the information. After clearing the information, we have the printf statement. We are using the printf statement to print this sequence of characters, which is generate invoice. Here, after printing the sequence of characters, we want the sequence of characters generate invoice to be positioned in the middle. Hence, we are doing the padding here. We are shifting the characters to be positioned in the middle of the console. On line 51, we have the printf statement here again. Here we are asking enter customer name. That is, we are asking the user of the application to enter the customer name. When the user of the application enter the customer name on the console, then what do we want to do? We want to use the scanf function to read the information that the user entered on the screen inside the ord.customer variable. After reading it inside the ord.customer variable, then again on line 53, we are using the strcpy function, which is a string function. It accepts 2 arguments. Here we are copying the information from this predefined variable to this variable here, ord.date. After storing the value inside the end variable, then we are assigning the value that is stored inside the end variable. We are using the assignment operator to assign the value that is stored inside this end variable to this ord.number of item variable, which is a member of a structure. After that, then on line 58, we have the for loop. Now, sir, in which situation should I use the for loop, sir? Whenever you know how many times you want to loop in advance, then it is recommended that you should use the for loop. Here the for loop have 4 statements. We have statement 1, which is initialization. We have statement 2, which is condition. We have statement 3, which is the body of the for loop. We have statement 4, which is the increment decrement operator. This statement here is the last statement that will be executed inside the for loop. Whenever I is equals to 1, then we want to come here and check the condition. Is I less than n? Let's say the value of n is 3. Whenever I is equals to 0, we are setting the value of I to 0. After that, then we are checking here, we are checking the condition. Is 0 less than 3? Let's say the value of n is 3. Is 0 less than 3? If the condition is satisfied, then the body of the for loop will be executed. Here we are using the printf statement to ask the customer enter item, enter the quantity, enter the unit price. After that again, then the last statement will be executed, which is I++. That is, I will be incremented from 0 to 1. Again, here it will come and check again. Is 1, initially I was 0. Now, after incrementing the value of I will now be 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes, the condition is satisfied. Then the body of the for loop will be executed. When the body of the for loop is executed, then the last statement, which is statement 4, I++, which is increment operator, will be incremented. Here we are incrementing the value of I again. I will now be 2. When I is equals to 2, then we are coming here again and checking. Is 2 less than 3? Yes, the condition is satisfied. Then the body of the for loop again will be executed. Here we are asking again, enter item. Please enter the quantity. Enter the unit price. After entering everything, then the last statement again will be executed again, which is I plus plus. We are incrementing the value of I by 1. When we increment the value of I by 1, initially I was 2. When we increment the value of I by 1, then it will be 3. Then this condition will be checked again. Is 3 less than 3? The condition is not satisfied. Then the loop will be terminated. This is how the for loop is being executed. Now, at every iteration, that is at every looping, we are timesing the value of quantity and price. That is when I is equals to 0, we want to times the value of quantity and price. When I is equals to 1, we want to times the value of quantity and price. When I is equals to 2, we want to times the value of quantity and price. After timesing everything together, then we are summing the results to total using the compound assignment operator. Here, the compound assignment operator, we are assigning the result of quantity times price to the total variable. After that, then on line 69, we are clearing the screen again. After clearing the screen again, then we are displaying the invoice. That is what we are doing here. By calling the generate bill header function, we are passing it 2 arguments, which is the customer name and the date. So here now, basically what we are doing here, we are just displaying the invoice here.